Rich, billowy lather lets you cut whiskers off right down at skin level.
And here's real economy. The jotter writes 5 times longer than ordinary ballpoint pen.
People will always be falling back on visual languages that allow them to feel unity. And the unity that I'm trying to create is maybe separate to just being purely visual, but the feeling of courageous woman, of brave woman, of women who take risks strong in their lives, strong women.
They're not the women I grew up with.
No.
I'm like, have you been in Nottingham? I'm like, no, they're not.
At the moment, I've shot my autumn-winter collection for 2014, and it's all looking at kind of craft, especially kind of domestic craft that was seen traditionally as kind of feminine domesticity, like, you know, ceramics or like hand stitching or embroidering, and kind of looking at that as like a departure point for making the pieces. So all of them have a very like kind of craft element to them. Each piece is imbued with a purpose, with a story, with an inspiration.
Do I get a number if I come to your shop?
I will give you the number 1, but you might be amongst many number 1s. If that makes you feel good. I'm just playing hard to get. I'm playing the game with you, baby, because I know that's what you want. The creative process is navigating that intuitive space and being able to take the unmanifested to the manifested and being okay with that unknown space. And I think
unknown space is the best space.
Yeah, because that's where magic happens. Is this the last time I'll see you?
Imagine you're naked under here.
I know.
Oh!
Thank you so much.
I think I'm going to see you again.
Yes, you are.
I know where you live.
Are you alone with a stubbly chin?
But I shaved just a while ago.
Milder than beauty soaps, milder than floating soaps, milder than cold cream.
The beat. All my Model C's and all you cool kids wanna see you move your feet. To all my guys and cats where I'm born and raised, metal hip hop dance, I don't beat the waves. I got here on a mission. I'm here to spread my vision. It's a revolution. No stones unturned, all the rules will be burned. It's a legislation. Gone are the days when you were shackled by your chains. It's a revolution. When a bitch is a bitch, say out of my face. When the people getting mean, say out of my face. When they sound like cotton jeans, say out of my face. When you're not against the lean, say out of my face. 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 Hey da hola, ma punuk jaiba. Hey da hola, ma punuk jaiba. Hey da hola, ma punuk jaiba. Hey da hola, ma punuk jaiba.
Hello, I'm Kelly Page, and this is Breakfast in Bed with Onlilo today. Say hello.
Hello.
Does umlilo mean fire?
Yes. I mean, the idea of fire is a very strong,
Yes.
you know, motif, and it's a very strong image.
It's hot.
And it's hot as well. It's like the sizzle.
Yeah.
Everything is in there. It's that fire that I need to, you know, also, you know, burn within myself and be able to be like, I always have to push myself as a performer. I never, ever want to bore people.
Okay.
Like, people can say whatever they want about my performances. They can be like, oh, you know, that was weird, that was crazy, but never that was boring.
Please do me the biggest favor ever, and when you finish your next performance, I'm not gonna say gig, just throw the mic down and go, y'all just been flamed! Walk off.
It would be more of a flames.
Flames, 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 flames.
See, how effective would that be?
You equated performance art and pop.
Yeah, a lot of artists and musicians coming out now would never call themselves pop artists because it's just so
Taboo.
You know, it's so taboo, it's just not hipster enough. I always wanted to be a pop star. I've always seen myself as a pop star. And I'm such a pop culture fan that like, I'm just like, why wouldn't you want to be a pop star?
If a pop artist sings a song in a forest and no one is there to hear it,
No one is there to hear it.
should that pop artist still be singing? I have to ask you, what next?
Well, I'm shooting my next single, which I'm very excited because with this new song, Out of My Face, it's fun, people can get into it. It's for everyone.
Do you have a definition genre for out of my face? Because that's how I'm gonna say it.
I think it's BAM. That's just what it.
BAM.
If there was a genre, we're gonna call it BAM pop.
BAM
Because
pop.
it's
You
just
have just
BAM.
coined the term. Everyone in the world, take note. BAM pop.
Out of
Out of my face. Out of my face. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for joining me in my bed.
Thank you for having me in your bed. It's really comfy. I might not be able to get up.
Flames.
Flames, 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 flames. I could do that all day.
Oh, and that reminds me. When you cook the Westinghouse electric way, you're free from an overheated kitchen.
In the meantime, here is the reason Gracie's custard disappeared so quickly.
I got into photography kind of through my dad. He used to shoot a lot of slide film back in the day when he was working on construction. I guess maybe for me it was my only sort of medium of expression. You know, it was me making sense of everything, and it amused me in some way. I think the cool thing, and I'm really lucky and blessed, is that I still feel that way now. I feel like every time I shoot or sort of every year that goes past, I feel like I'm enjoying it more and more and more, which is it's quite a privileged space to be in. I met Guy, must have been 2006 or so. I think part of the reason initially why I approached him was because he was shooting the kind of stuff that I wanted to shoot. So I saw something in him that, okay, this is someone I could learn. This person could teach me how to do what they do, you know, in the future.
Being on the street is like being free. There's no deadline, there's no brief, there's no anything.
The one day we just said, okay, well, let's just get together and just walk down Main Road. So we went for the first walk. It was basically like, okay, cool, we just made a blog and put some of the first pictures up, and he just said, Main Road Chronicles, and sent it to me, and he was like, oh, what do you think? What about this? And I was like, yeah, that seems cool. Then Guy and I kind of just, from that first walk, we just kept going and going and going. We didn't want to like over-intellectualize or become too hectic about it. It was just this thing where we could challenge ourselves to go take pictures, and the goal being to try and create really, really strong images. Missed it. You see those birds? Too late. You sort of often, you don't have a lot of time. You sort of look up and you see something, and by the time you've gone, okay, I want to put this person here, like as they're walking past, you know it's gone. So you can't really be angry, you know. Yeah, you're frustrated because you missed a shot and it might have been a great shot, but at the same time, it's like you don't own that stuff, you know. It's just a moment, like you just got to learn from it. there comes a time when sometimes you actually just can't photograph certain things because, you know, sometimes you do just see people as shapes, you know. So even if it's just somebody who's actually living on the street, like, you have to realize that that person's life also has value and that you can't just sort of storm in creating publicity out of this poor kid that lives on the street. You know, if it raises a social issue like, flip, we need to do something about it, then great. But I think it's very difficult sometimes, and I think it goes back to that respect.
But I think the trick is to work around it. Just see something positive and something really great in someone's face.
Although it's nice to sit back sometimes and sort of be an outside view, fly on the wall and just let things sort of unfold around you, I think sometimes you can't be too removed from the situation because maybe it removes some of the context of what you're actually doing. Hearing the stories behind it, I think, maybe not to the people looking at our pictures, but at least for us it adds value to those images. It just gives you a bigger perspective on not just Main Road or South Africa, I think just life in general.
Rap-a-shave, I'll shave them all. Rap-a-shave, I'll shave them all. No messy brush, no greasy cream. Use rap-a-shave in the morning.
All you do is press the top. Instant lather on the spot. Easy on with fingertips. See how fast your razor zips.